My name is Glenn Tapper. I'm a professional boxer. I was #1 in America as an amateur 6 times. I was 130 and 13 losses as an amateur. I'm #3 in the world. I ended up becoming 2-time NWO champion as a professional boxer. I actually went to Jamaica and started looking at the stem cell research. I just know longevity and the benefits of it, for the brain. I get punched in the head for a living, as a boxer. So understanding that it affects you, it's gonna affect your brain, so I just wanted to slow that down, slow that process down, and maybe even stop it, man. And I know the effects of stem cells. I just had to do it. I actually went to Jamaica and started looking at the stem cell research. You see a lot of older fighters, they have a lot of brain injury. They call it punch drunk. Talk funny, and they just forget things. So I just want to prevent that. I did see the difference in my reading. I read a lot faster. When I read faster now.
To other people.
I would recommend this to everybody. I don't understand why people won't want this. It just gives you longevity. All the benefits that it has for you, for your body, and it's natural. It's just, why wouldn't you want this? My name is Glenn Tapper, and I just really can't wait to go back. Work so hard and get the benefits from this.
Featherweight, the party, Lance Palmer.
2016 was my first stem cell treatment, and the last one I had was actually in May. It was 2 weeks before my last fight. I know the difference. The effects of the stem cell treatments are just more of a overall energy and the recovery process of hard training and being able to go through these hard practices that I do and having faster recovery time. I would definitely recommend stem cell treatments to other athletes. I would say that being an athlete and getting stem cell treatments helps with the recovery process and preventing injuries and preventing things that can happen in the future, because the regeneration of your cells and the regeneration of certain things that get broken down during training, doesn't matter what sport you're in. I would recommend Dr. Brian Mailing just because of his passion for it and his ability to explain what's actually happening when you get a stem cell treatment done. So he breaks it down for why it's going to help you and what it's going to do for you, even if you have no injuries or if you're just trying to do it as a regenerative process for your cells. So he does a great job of that.
You excited for the fight?
Definitely. All the hard part's over. Tomorrow we just go out and have some fun on ESPN.
I'm Ryan Rutherford. I'm a third-year student at Ohio State. I had 3 concussions in the past 3 years just from sports. I had a really hard time just paying attention to fine print, studying, just without getting headaches. I feel dizzy pretty much throughout the day. I was interested in doing the stem cell treatment and got in contact with Brian. I flew out of Columbus to Jamaica and arrived at Montego Bay, and then the next morning I did the treatment, and then I was already on a plane that day back to Columbus, so it was really quick and easy. After the treatment, I really just felt a decrease in overall dizziness. The first couple weeks after the concussion, I was constantly just feeling dizzy, and I had some frequent headaches, but that seemed to decrease too. I would definitely recommend it. I was someone who was really worried about long-term effects of having so many concussions in a short period of time, so I think the stem cell treatment will definitely benefit me there, and I also noticed some immediate effects as well. It makes me really excited for just the future of stem cells, because if it was in the United States, I feel it would just be a lot more applicable to college athletes. I'm Ryan Rutherford. I've had 3 concussions. 2 weeks post stem cell treatment, I continue to feel better every day.
Well, While staying with friends in New York in the throes of Hurricane Sandy, Eddie walked down the street to a pharmacy. When he awoke from his coma, the doctor's prognosis was grim. Eddie was a shadow of his former self. He was brain damaged.
Because I saw Eddie like 2 weeks before the accident. It was sad to see Eddie. Eddie wasn't even able to barely talk. You know, he was not able to talk. It was not the Eddie that we know. You know, the energy, the funny guy, it was just a completely different Eddie. It was really, I mean, that was shocking for me.
Avanzar hacia el mal. Tenemos a Eddie subiendo ya del mal. Cuidado, por favor, Eddie.
It's my friend here. Very good friend. Say hello. He wants to say hello.
He required a craniotomy because the intracranial pressure wasn't coming down after a week. So he had the craniotomy and everyone was cautioning us that, you know, Eddie probably wasn't really going to be the same anymore.
One day I went to the pharmacy and I was on the second floor of the pharmacy. As I was having a seizure, I was going down the stairs. I was falling all the way down to the first floor and I was in coma. I was basically dead, you know.
Who's here, right?
Yeah. This is where you fell.
Doctor was saying that some of the causes that have seizure is because of more than mildew. Basically, we're having some problems at the building. So then that's what I had at the apartment. Because every time it rains, we're having like a waterfall. That water causes a lot of mold and mildew. Because of that, I'm having that problem, and that caused me a lot of seizures. Doctor said that if I survive, I'm gonna be vegetable, I'm gonna be a cripple, not even able to speak.
It takes a long time for the swelling to go down, but the swelling went down so rapidly that he was able to have the skull put back on after like 2 or 3 more weeks.
I'm gonna do MRI.
MRI of the head to check your brain.
To check everything, so in the brain, you know, in my head.
Just before he had that head injury, he did 2 intrathecal treatments with the stem cells.
And they put it back. The doctor said, wow, believe it or not, but I can see new bones growing. I think that's because of the stem cell. And here I am speaking.
About 2.5 years ago, I started having memory issues and some rapid fire anger. Over that whole period, they couldn't find anything, but then in the CAT scan showed that I was experiencing some brain shrinkage in the front lobe, which they eventually diagnosed as somatic dementia. When I was trying to work, I could not, I was also stuttering, I couldn't complete a sentence. Then I started the stem cell, and then all of a sudden my wife says, you know, you're stuttering a lot less now. And after the second injection, the stuttering disappeared. And then I really started to notice. Now I'm functioning full capacity at work and speaking clearly, and I always have 3 to 4 books I'm reading now. So, knock on wood, I consider myself normal again, and I hope it lasts.